We're going to look at a more interesting example of a gradebook application here. In this application we have two scores to consider, and a homework score and a final test score, and we're going to compare them with a minimum homework required to pass and a minimum test score required to pass. And the rule over here is the student passes if both of the following are true. The homework score is at least the minimum and the final test score is at least the minimum. So two things have to be true in order for the student to pass the class. Now I want a PRF to appear right here telling me if the student passed or failed. But before we do that, we're going to cheat a little bit here, and we're going to go way over here and make up a little helper column. There's nothing wrong with doing that. If it makes it a little bit easier to solve the problem, it's a good thing to do. And what I want to do over here is I want to know if they pass both tests and the homework. So the AND function is used to tell me if all of its arguments are true. If all of its arguments are true, it will return the value true. Otherwise, it will return the value false. The arguments must be logical tests, things that are true or false. Now, my first logical test is George's homework greater than or equal to the minimum homework required to pass, and that's going to be an absolute cell reference, so I need the dollar signs. Second logical test, notice it evaluates them over here on the right too. The second logical test is was George's final test score greater than or equal to the minimum test score, and that's also true. And notice that as you keep typing in logical tests, it keeps making room for one more. It says you can have as many as 255 conditions if you want down here, but in real life, if you've got more than about 3 of them down here, you're probably making the problem a little bit too complicated. So all we need here is two things, and we're going to click on OK, and I find out that George did pass both. That's what true means in this case, and the other 3 guys did not. John met the homework minimum, but he didn't pass the test. It was the reverse for Thomas. He passed the test but not the homework, and James didn't pass either one. Now if I look over here, I know that the value true means the person passed and the value false means the person did not pass. But I don't want that. I want P and F. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the grade column here, and I'm going to use the if function. And the if function is going to look over here, and it's going to look at this logical test over here and see if it's true or false. Okay, so the logical test is this value right here, and that's all I really need to put. You see over here it evaluates to true, and if that is true, then I want to put the letter P in there, and notice again it puts in the quotation marks, and if it's false I want to put the value F in there and click on OK. And so George passed. Now if I copy that formula down the page, I see that the other 2 students did not pass. If you double click on one of my formulas here, it shows you that it's depending on this value over here. If I double click on one of these formulas over here, it shows me I'm depending on these 2 and these 2. And if I go down the page here, I'm doing these 2, and those 2 did not change. They're absolute cell references, so the green and the brown are always going to be up here, and the blue and the purple are always moving down the page. Now when I get done, if I want to hide this helper column over here, that's easy to do. Just right click on it, choose hide, and it goes away. And as soon as I move out of here, you don't even see the thick black line anymore. The only indication you have that a cell is, or a column is missing there, is that we go from H to J. Now what if you want to get that back? Well, if you want to get that back, simply drag the mouse across the headings that surround the missing column, and then right click and choose unhide, and then it'll come back. That's how the AND function works.